The execution chamber's crystalline walls hummed with lethal energy as Commander Marcus Chen stood before the assembled Zephyrian court. His hands remained steady despite the neural restraints, his weathered face betraying no fear as Queen Vexithera's compound eyes fixed upon him with barely contained hatred. "Human," she hissed, her chitinous mandibles clicking with each syllable. "You have corrupted my daughter beyond redemption. For this transgression against the royal bloodline, you will dissolve in the acid pools of Mortang." Marcus had known this day would come. 3 years ago, when his exploration vessel crashed on Zephyr Prime, he'd expected to die within hours. The planet's atmosphere was toxic to humans, the wildlife aggressively territorial, and the dominant species, the insectoid Zephyrians, had never shown mercy to trespassers. But fate had other plans. He'd been found not by the Queen's Guard, but by her 7-year-old daughter, Princess Kiralyn, badly injured and separated from her hunting party. The child was dying from a venom that her own kind couldn't neutralize, but Marcus's medical training and human physiology had provided an unexpected solution. His blood, filtered through his suit's emergency medical system, contained antibodies that proved effective against the toxin. Saving the princess should have earned him a quick death instead of a slow one, but Kiralyn had hidden him in the abandoned sectors of the royal hive, bringing him food and water while his injuries healed. What began as a debt of gratitude had evolved into something the rigid Zephyrian society couldn't comprehend: genuine affection between species. "The human taught me that strength isn't just in our chitin or our venom." Kiralyn's voice echoed through the chamber as she stepped forward, her adolescent form now towering over Marcus despite her youth. Her bioluminescent patches pulsed with defiant purple light. "He showed me that true power comes from understanding, from protecting those weaker than yourself." Queen Vexithara's head swiveled toward her daughter, antennae twitching with rage. "Silence. He has poisoned your mind with his inferior mammalian concepts. We are apex predators, not caregivers." But Kiralyn continued, her voice gaining strength. "When the hegemony fleet arrived last year, when their dreadnoughts blotted out our 3 sons, who devised the defense that saved our world? Not our greatest military minds, not our most advanced computers." She gestured toward Marcus, a human who understood that sometimes the smallest action can topple the mightiest enemy. The court stirred uneasily. They all remembered the hegemony's invasion, how the overwhelming force had seemed unstoppable until Commander Chen had proposed his audacious plan. Using Zephyrian tunneling technology and human guerrilla tactics, he'd orchestrated surgical strikes against the fleet's supply lines and communication networks. The aliens had withdrawn, confused and demoralized by an enemy they couldn't pin down. "He taught me that honor isn't about dominating others," Kiralyn pressed on, now standing between her mother and Marcus. "It's about lifting them up. Every lesson he shared, every story he told, every moment he spent showing me that there was more to existence than conquest. Those weren't corruptions, Mother. They were gifts." Marcus watched the young princess with pride swelling in his chest. When he'd first found her broken and dying, he never could have imagined she would grow into such a formidable leader. Her chitin had darkened to a deep emerald. Her compound eyes now held flecks of gold, and her voice carried the authority of someone born to rule. Yet she still possessed that spark of curiosity and compassion he'd nurtured during their secret meetings. Queen Vexithara raised her arm, the bioweapon grafted to her wrist charging with deadly energy. "Enough of this madness. The human dies, and you will be purged of his influence through the ritual of mental cleansing." "No." Kiralyn's bioluminescence flared to brilliant white, the color of a challenge to authority. "If you kill him, you'll have to kill me too. Because everything I am, everything I've learned that makes me worthy to eventually lead our people, he helped shape that." The court gasped. In Zephyrian culture, a direct challenge to the queen was tantamount to treason, punishable by exile or death. But coming from the heir apparent, it carried different weight. "You would choose this alien over your own blood?" The queen's voice carried a note of genuine pain. Kiralyn's posture softened slightly. "I choose the wisdom he taught me over the hatred you've embraced. He showed me that strength shared is strength multiplied, that an enemy defeated becomes an ally, but an enemy destroyed teaches nothing to future generations." She turned to address the assembled court. "The galaxy is vast and full of species we haven't encountered yet. When they come, and they will come, do we want to meet them with mandibles bared and weapons ready, Or do we want to greet them with the knowledge that differences don't mean weaknesses? The chamber fell silent except for the humming of the execution apparatus. Marcus could see the internal struggle playing out across Queen Vexithera's features. She was a product of millennia of Zephyrian conditioning, but she was also a mother watching her daughter make her first truly independent stand. Finally, the Queen's arm lowered. The bioweapon powered down with a soft whir. "The human will be exiled," she announced, her voice carefully neutral. "He has 3 days to leave our system and never return." Kira Lynn's bioluminescence shifted to warm gold, gratitude mixed with determination. "Then I request permission to escort him to his ship, Your Majesty." As the court dispersed and the neural restraints were removed, Marcus felt Kira Lynn's hand, now equipped with fully grown claws that could rend metal, gently touch his shoulder. "Thank you," she whispered in the human language he'd taught her, "for showing me that being strong enough to be gentle is the greatest strength of all." Marcus smiled, knowing that somewhere among the stars, humanity had gained not just an ally, but a daughter who would change the galaxy forever.